Welcome everybody to Cooking with Poppy. Today we are going to be making a baked feta pasta. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know what you think of this dish. So let's get started with 2 pints of cherry tomatoes. Any variety will work. And then comes some olive oil. How about
a half cup?
Well, that sounds about perfect. A half cup of olive oil. Now we'll give it a quick stir to make sure all the tomatoes are coated in olive oil. Now we're going to separate the tomatoes and take a nice block of fresh feta and get it in there just so. The feta is going to give this dish a nice tanginess, a little bit of saltiness. And now we're going to take just a little bit more olive oil and pour it on top of our feta. And now we're going to start layering in some flavors. Let's start with 2 tablespoons of clover honey for some sweetness. Next, we are going to go with
a teaspoon
of red chili pepper flakes to give it just a little bit of heat. Now let's go with
a teaspoon
of black pepper. And to give the dish a little bit of
umami
or savoriness, we'll give it a teaspoon of dried shiitake mushrooms. Next, I'm just going to use the blade of my knife and crush 3 cloves of garlic. Let's just place these over the tops of the tomatoes. I am going to put a little bit more pepper on the tomatoes. And I believe we are ready to put this in the oven. So let's go ahead and bake this at 400 degrees for 35 minutes. As that's baking, that'll give me time to take this fresh basil, stack it, roll it, and
chop them up.
Okay, so I've got my basil cut up to the right size. I'm going to start my pasta shells now. Just pulled the feta and tomatoes out of the oven, and let me tell you, this really smells good. And now that the feta cheese is really soft, I'm going to start mixing it up and getting it to break down a little bit. I'm going to switch over to a fork so I can really smash these tomatoes up. And as I work on this dish, I'd like to thank my helpers, my beautiful granddaughters, Guinevere and Arwen. Say hello, girls.
Hi, everybody.
Looks like I've got it mixed up pretty good, so I'm going to add 8 ounces of pasta shells. Use whatever kind of pasta you like. Let's get this all mixed together really good. Now it's time for a handful of fresh chopped basil. We will get that all mixed in, and then it's time to plate this dish. This looks and smells absolutely amazing. So let's finish this with some freshly grated Parmesan. The best part of cooking a dish like this is you have to taste it. It's creamy, it's rich, it is delicious. Thanks for coming, everybody. And as always,
like and subscribe.